Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Wine with Jimmy channel. I am your host, Jimmy Smith. This is an educational channel that helps all of you around the world understand and hopefully love wine just a little bit more. We are mainly designed here to help you with your wine studies, to really help you get to grips with a wine topic, to get you through those very challenging wine exams. Now, if you have any questions or comments or concerns, you can do something about it. Just below this video, you can, in the comment section, write to your heart's content. And whilst you're down there, please click the subscribe button so you get all of our weekly updates. And then also the like button, because it always helps just a little bit. Okay, also we have social media that we see at the bottom of every slide. If you're that way inclined, then you can of course use the all the handles to get in touch with us down there. Okay, so this is a part of the WSET Level 4 Diploma series, and this is on red winemaking techniques. This mini series is not so much of a mini series. It's like a major series. We've got 6 whole parts to this series. Now, parts 1 of this one and part 2 will be available as free content on here, the world of YouTube. Parts 3 to 6 will only be available at my e-learning portal, which is winewithjimmy.com. Go and visit for all of your wine educational needs. So yes, let's begin with the world of cap management techniques, what we're looking at in this section. So the vast majority of red wines are fermented on their solids, so on their skins. It is important to mix the skins with the juice or the wine during fermentation for a number of reasons, and we're going to go through that here. In this video, we're going into an introduction, so it's a general overview in cap management, but in all the following videos, we go very much into specific processes for cap management techniques. So here we are. Let's just do a bit of a definition first of all. So what is the cap? So in a tank of fermenting must, the grape skins will rise to the top of the liquid and remain there, and they are kept buoyant by the carbon dioxide, which of course is coming off from the fermentation. And that forms a head at the top of the vat, a crusty head, I suppose. And this is what we call the cap. And then therefore working with this cap and managing it is called cap management. So there you are. Lots of skins in this picture have arisen to the top of the vat. Okay, so let's go through some reasoning for actually making sure that we work with the cap, what we have to do with it, because there can be problems that may arise if we don't work with it. So without mixing the juice or wine with the cap, this would mean that the skins spend the fermentation macerating in the same small volume of liquid that will surround them. This liquid would therefore become saturated with color, tannin, and flavor, and therefore dissolution of these compounds into the liquid would gradually stop. So therefore it's not very efficient. So when we do mix it all up, of course, the skins will meet a lot of the juice. And this is an efficient way, of course, at saturating that juice with color, tannin, and flavor. Okay, another reason just here. So a dry cap, that's one that we haven't mixed a lot with the juice, so that's avoiding contact, will allow bacteria to convert alcohol into unwanted acetic acid, creating VA, volatile acids, within the wine. So it's very important to mix the cap in. And most of the techniques that we'll talk about later in future presentations actually will be used to move the cap, to mix it up, to help aerate the must, helping to avoid the production of what we call volatile sulfur compounds, VSCs. Okay, now that's around reduction. If you want more information about volatile acid and also reduction, please look at my videos, which are on wine faults in the diploma section, about reduction and also about volatile acid. That's available on my portal at winewithjimmy.com. Okay, so that's what really two things there we're trying to avoid: the creation of acetic acid, volatile acid, and then the VSCs, the volatile sulfur compounds, reductive compounds. Other things here around reasoning for cap management. Mixing it all together also helps to distribute the heat produced during fermentation, and so therefore really is essential for temperature monitoring and control. Now, I go into a lot of information on this as well, specifically in the general winemaking options on alcoholic fermentation temperatures. So please look at that video as well for much greater information. So I'm going to go through some of the major decisions. So we've talked about the reasoning behind it on the last few slides. Now let's talk about some of the major decisions, okay, which of course will be explored in very great detail in the future presentations. As this is an intro, it's a general look at these. Okay, first of all, choices regarding the cap management have a real key influence on the style of wine. So there are many different techniques, from things like punching down, pumping over, rotary fermenters, and so on. And this will really, of course, mean that you can decrease or increase the amount of contact with that cap. So, of course, potentially really mess around with the extraction of things like color and tannin and so on. So the methodology, the frequency. So the winemaker can alter the frequency of the mixing and also the duration of the mixing as well. So, for example, pumping over the must 3 times a day for 15 minutes will, of course, extract more than 10 minutes of pumping if you do that just once a day. So frequency and the duration as well. We've also got the timing. So the timing of the mixing with the fermentation can influence what compounds are extracted. So, for example, more mixing at the start of the fermentation with less mixing at the end will extract more color but less tannin. Whereas mixing more at the end of fermentation, of course, will get greater amounts of tannin. So the timing of our mixing of the cap as well. And of course, temperature. So temperature has a key role. Warmer fermentations will extract, of course, more than cooler fermentations. With temperature controlled vessels, temperature during different stages of fermentation can be adjusted. Therefore, tannin extraction can be reduced by cooling the wine near the end of the fermentation at the time when the tannins are most likely to be extracted. Okay, so that is the end of the beginning, the introduction to cap management techniques. And as I mentioned earlier, we've got many more videos to come up with the main processes. So punching down and pumping over, rack and return, special tanks, rotary fermenters, and then also other maceration options. And part 2, the next one, is available as free content, but parts 3 through to 6 are only available on my e-learning portal. That's found at, you'll see it coming up on the screen right now, winewithjimmy.com. As always, if you have any burning questions, comments, or concerns, you can get in touch by commenting on this video below. Click like and subscribe. And if you do find yourself in old Blighty, the United Kingdom, in England's old lovely fair shores, then come and see us in London at one of my wine schools or wine bars. So you can come and see me for a class, a glass, or a bottle. I've been Jimmy Smith. Ciao for now. Bye.